Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Holistic Cannabis Show with your hostess, Dr. Yolanda Henderson. Welcome back. And
Hen.
Just Hen today, okay?
It's just gonna be Hen today.
It's just Hen today. All right, Mr. Hen, can you give all of our viewers the outlets to watch the show today?
Sure, on TV and a computer. Statusnetwork.net. If you got the internet browser, www in front of that. 470-251-4647 if you want to call that. All right, Instagram, manifesttv.status. Facebook, Status Network LLC. Periscope, status_network_. Twitter, status_network_. Amazon Fire Stick and Roku, Status Network, Manifest TV. YouTube, Manifest TV.
There you go.
I got one more outlet that you can use to view the show. Your eyeballs.
There you go. Your eyes. Yeah. Even though with your mask on, you can still see the eyes. Yeah.
Y'all still wearing masks in America? Y'all still wear masks?
They still wear masks.
They still wearing masks in America.
Yeah. But you know what? That sounded like a rap. You know what I'm saying? All the outlets to watch the show. Roku, Amazon Fire Stick.
I'm just saying, man, I'm really thinking about buying property on the moon, man, because y'all getting wilding around here, man. Y'all wilding on Earth.
Well, you know, to us earthlings, and you know, hey, we got a lot to talk about. All right, so pre-420, so everybody who's celebrating 420, we want to tell y'all all about what 420 is about, and then we're gonna say happy birthday to all of our birthdays for April. Happy birthday, April birthdays. If you have a birthday, call into the show. What's the number again?
470-251-4647. Tell your brother, sister, mother, cousin, auntie, uncle, granddaddy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Call that number.
There you go. All right, so we have a quick video we're going to share about the 420 holiday and what it means for 420. All right, so after this video.
The story of 420.
Knows that April 20th, or 420, is the de facto day when stoners around the world come together to toke up. But have you ever wondered why 420 was anointed the day of all days for celebrating cannabis? Tons of rumors of its origins have swirled in the air like clouds of dank smoke since the dark days before the internet. So before we talk about what 420 is, let's discuss all the things that 420 is not. Here are some of the common myths that we can debunk right now. 420 does not come from the police radio code for marijuana violations, nor is it the California Penal Code for marijuana use. 420 is also not the number of chemical compounds found in weed. There are 483 compounds to be exact. April 20th is not the best time to plant marijuana. That varies around the world. Nor is it the day that Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, or Jimi Hendrix died. But April 20 is Adolf Hitler's birthday, and 420 also happens to be the time that LSD scientist Albert Hofmann first dropped acid. Yet these are only coincidences. Another popular myth is that 420 originated from the Bob Dylan song Rainy Day Woman number 12 and number 35, since 12 multiplied by 35 is 420. And even though that song does have the line, everybody must get stoned, this isn't where 420 comes from. In truth, 420 all began in 1971 in San Rafael, California, with a group of 5 high school students looking for an adventure. According to Snopes.com, the group, who called themselves the Waldos, caught wind of a hidden crop of marijuana near Point Reyes that a local Coast Guard service member had abandoned. The friends decided to look for the lost patch of marijuana, and since they all participated in sports after class, they agreed to meet outside of school at 420 to smoke and begin their search. And just to make sure they didn't forget, the Waldos would say 420 to remind each other about their rendezvous. The Waldos never did find that legendary crop, but they kept using 420 as a code word to smoke pot, and eventually it spread around the school. One of the Waldos' older brothers mentioned the phrase to his friend, Phil Lesh, who happened to be the bassist for the iconic band, The Grateful Dead. Soon, the Dead began co-opting the term at their concerts, and fans cemented the connection between the number 420 and that sticky icky. It wasn't until 1990 that Steve Bloom, editor of High Times magazine, spotted an explanation of 420 on a Grateful Dead concert flyer. The magazine began using the term 420 to mean 420, and this helped to popularize the term worldwide. So this 420, when your friends start with tales of Jim Morrison's Day of Death or more Bob Dylan theories, tell them to light up in respect for the Waldos instead. And let us know if you find any pot plants out on Point Reyes. Happy 420!
Everything in life is a negotiation.
420 to everyone. All right, so 420 is a special day, and y'all heard all about 420 and the wonderful things and the wonderful people who celebrate 420. So we just want you all to be safe, be careful, go to a state where it's legal, toke, do whatever you want to, meditate. However, we are going to have our own 420 event at the Gift of Life Community Home Holistic Center. So if you want to come out, we have an event and we have a flyer for that event. It is Tuesday, and it's from 10 to 8. And that event is going to be where you can pray and you can actually paint. So it's a pray and paint, and we're praying for the legalization. We're praying for everybody who has lost a loved one to this war on drugs, and I'm talking about prisoners of war, people who've gone to prison for cannabis usage or cannabis possession. We're talking about people who are wheelchair bound who pray for cannabis legalization. We're praying for people who are uneducated, those who just don't know what cannabis is and how it is beneficial for so many people across America, and who don't even know it and realize how beneficial it is. So we're praying for cannabis as a whole. So if you want to come out and join us, you're welcome to come. It is an all day, like I said, all day event from about 10:30 a.m. in the morning until about 8 o'clock that afternoon. So throughout the day, that way we can still practice a little social distancing. Plus we can paint, we can visualize and paint about what helps us cope in this tough world of cannabis, and especially right now in Georgia, because we have some legislations on the desk of Kemp, and we want him to go ahead and approve some of these things and get an idea of what's going on here in Georgia, because there's so much. I mean, things is just going ballistic. All right. So what do you think, Mr. Henderson?
About what?
About the way that we're going to celebrate 420.
Oh, that's cool. However you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. All right. So again, the medical marijuana bill that is starting to get a lot of play. And that is also on the governor's desk right now. But we want to talk about that. And we have a quick video on that as well. And it was in the news. So after this, we have a video. We'll be right back.
Or less of marijuana starting July 1st. Virginia is now the 16th state, along with the Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, to legalize the drug. Well, a wide range of marijuana topics on the minds of lawmakers here in Georgia.
Governor Kemp has a bill right on his desk now. Capitol reporter Haley Mason is live with what it means for us and for him if he signs it.
Karen, we've been inside of the ATLRX CBD store most of the day, from their Alpharetta location to the one here in Midtown, and they are all eyes on this bill. They want to be one of the next dispensaries allowed to dispense medical marijuana if it becomes legal in Georgia. The medical marijuana industry in Georgia could be expanding if a new bill is signed by Governor Kemp. Businesses like ATL RX, CBD, and Alpharetta are hoping to expand their cannabis dispensary to include medical marijuana. They currently focus on hemp products.
So we're basically a Farm Bill compliant dispensary. We deal mostly in CBD flower, oils, edibles, topicals, things of that nature.
By law, all of their products contain no more than 0.3% THC, a very low THC form of cannabis that doesn't offer the high effect of marijuana.
You see a lot of people that come in with the medical marijuana card looking for the products. They do allow us to have up to 5% THC oils. Unfortunately, they don't allow medical marijuana in its raw form, the raw flower type of products to be sold here. And it's really just kind of tricky for the patients that are involved in that, because while it is legal for them to buy it and possess it, there's not a supply chain that's in place currently for us to actually move that product around.
But a bill that has passed the General Assembly and onto Governor Kemp's desk could make it possible for up to 30 medical marijuana dispensaries to open up in Georgia. Currently, there are only 6 licenses available for companies to grow and manufacture medical marijuana oils. The state is deciding now who will be awarded those. For some, 30 dispensaries is limiting. Others argue that safety is a concern since it's not FDA approved. But industry hopefuls have been watching lawmakers closely at the Capitol as they slowly open up the market.
It represents more of a mainstream acceptance for something that's been in a dark area for quite some time now.
He says it's like the floodgates are opening up. He thinks this will open the door to greater acceptance for medical marijuana. They see people coming in with those cards looking for medical marijuana. He's hoping that they can one day service them soon. Nonetheless, this bill also allows colleges and universities under the University System of Georgia to have low THC access for research purposes. Reporting live in Midtown, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Haley.
All right. So what do you think, Mr. Henderson? What do you feel is going to work in Georgia? Because I love to hear your opinion. You have a very different opinion, and I have a different opinion. So we can kind of collaborate and just, see where we can meet in the middle with those opinions on this Georgia working this out, because initially it's up to our governor. But if he signs this stuff, then you know what? The Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science could be on to working with the lawmakers to getting education out, to getting working with the workforce to allow businesses to get students involved in businesses, teaching minority business owners to get into this industry the legal way. And even though they have 6 licenses, we got to get with someone else who is going to expand this bill, because we have already done the research. We know that 6 licenses is not going to be enough, and they said 30 dispensaries throughout the whole state of Georgia. Okay, Georgia, again, if you look at the population and you look at the demographics, 10 million people in the whole states, okay? And so just Atlanta, Georgia alone is about 8 million people, and it's about how many that's on the registry. And that's just now. Just think about when people are educated on how well cannabis works for people, and that's again what I teach at the school. How many more people are going to sign up for the cannabis cards? Now, we still have the people who are still stuck in their mindsets and still, cannabis is the devil, it's the devil's lettuce, it's this, is that. But when you think about it, this here is a breakthrough in technology and medical technology, because doctors did not know about the endocannabinoid system way back when they were in medical school, or 10 years from now, or 5 years from now. Even though it was legal to a certain extent back in the 60s, it was legal. Doctors were writing prescriptions using cannabis in the prescriptions. If you go back and look at history, you will find out how this is working. And then Georgia being an agricultural state with all of this land, it just would make economic sense to go ahead and make this a legalized state outside of medical, even though we know that medical right now is going to be the thing that's already proved here. But on down the line, when you think about revenue and you think about economics, you want to include cannabis in adult use. We're not saying we're giving it to kids. We have a lot of rumors of people who saying that this is a gateway drug. Honey, this is an exit drug. When you think about cannabis being that opioids is legal and you can go and get a prescription for an opioid, and people are selling those same opioids on the street, that's legal. Okay, and then you look at cannabis, a plant, baby. This look at us behind us. It is growing the way that God and nature, according to the way that it was supposed to grow. And getting cultivators on board, getting more colleges on board. I know that's in the new bill. It's a Senate bill. So look that up. I'll bring the name up in just a minute. But for those who are watching, do your research. If you have a family member or a loved one who still thinks that cannabis is the devil's drug, please do your research. Come out to the school, Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science. And then I want to hear what Mr. Henderson got to say.
See, this where the wheels fall off the wagon.
Uh-oh.
Right. Now,
go ahead.
Ain't never gonna be one bill that's gonna ever be put out that's gonna make everybody happy. You hear what I said? Mm-hmm. Ain't no one thing that that's gonna ever be invented that's gonna make everybody happy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Kim could legalize cannabis tomorrow, and guess what? That ain't gonna make the people that want it legal happy.
Okay, I get you.
You have to start from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And just like the dude from ATL CBD just said, without a logistics plan or a supply chain, you have no way to move around.
But that's a job. That's where jobs are coming in.
It does create jobs. But with creating jobs, there are other rules and other agencies that have to make presentation and rules of how we gonna govern this, how we gonna govern that, how do you control this, how do you implement that. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Now, from what I done seen about the cannabis space around here, it's a lot of carts before the horses. Okay. A lot of them. Okay. Okay. And that's not good for business. Okay. All right. So I think a slow approach, while it might not be the best approach for a lot of others, until Georgia figure out all the moving parts to a statewide cannabis program, they just gonna be with what they have. Okay. Without the education, without that piece being involved, it's gonna go even slower. Okay. Right? Georgia says that you can have 20 ounces of 5% THC. All right, good example right there. But you got people that complain because they don't want to take the oil.
They want to smoke it.
People complain because they want a
choice. They want a choice. And rightfully so. We are American citizens and we deserve rights. Just like people smoke cigarettes, this is a product that you were able to smoke.
But your problem was when you said that it was cool for the states to decide, I'm going to let the states decide. See, that's where the cart before the horse. Okay. Failure of government to move. See, that's why I'm glad I live on my spaceship. That's why I'm glad I live on a spaceship. No. Right there. Your government, your president.
You really think you live on a spaceship?
All these people, your president, your Congress, your Senate, they all have something to do with how slow it's taken. So this is what they did. They said, okay, well, we're going to let the states decide. We're going to leave it up to the states. The problem is too many opinions in the states. Yeah. There's too many opinions. Yeah. At some point in time, your president, Senate, and Congress, your House of Representatives, they got to make the move. They got to take the leadership. You see what I'm saying? How does that administration take leadership? What does it look like? Federal legalization. Deschedule it. That's what it looked like. Right. And then from there, you let the states decide, okay, this segment of my state is going to be growing, These are where my dispensary is going to be. See, now you have the horse in front of the cart. Legalize it on a federal level. Just go ahead and deschedule it and get that part over with.
Get it over with, because it's making everything else back up.
Because as long as you keep it the way that it is, you're going to have Georgia problems. Okay? So now, let's figure out what we need to do. All right? What we need to do, you need to call your representatives and call them relentlessly. Right? Right now, the main focus of everybody's energies seems to be on what the police got going on. Oh, there's a simple way for that too. But is it ever simple on earth? Probably not. Check this out. How you fix that problem? Make it a federal law. That if police kill anybody without reason or justification, be penalized. Just
Federal
like it
law.
would if it was me.
Yep.
I should run for president. You know what I'm saying? Just that right there. You see what I'm saying? I should run for president, man. So y'all nominate me. My name gonna be on the next ballot. My campaign slogan is "Return to Normal." I'm done right there.
That's it.
I'm done right there. I'm done right there.
All right. Well, we hope to see you on the ballot. While you talking about it like that, his name is Normal Henderson, y'all.
Don't tell nobody my real government name. I'm not.
Return
not
to normal.
Henderson now.
All right, not a problem, but that is too awesome. Just some information that you have legalizing on a federal level because of one, Safe Banking Act. The Safe Banking, we need to be able to, I can't even get a loan, the PPP loan. I have a whole school, okay? You can't even get a PPP loan to pay employees because it's on a Schedule 1. It's not even scheduled to where, you know, businesses who just have the name cannabis in the name, they think that it's involved in some type of trafficking and drugs and things like that. And I read a blog, and I'm trying to go to this blog right now.
That's because of the RICO Act.
The RICO Act. There you go.
It's because of the RICO Act that all this is happening if your business got the cannabis name.
Right.
Nobody want to be associated with money laundering, my peoples.
Right.
All right. That's why the banks don't take your money. All right. The banks ain't taking your money. If they get an FDIC, anything, they ain't taking your money because that's money laundering.
Well, some banks are, and we just
credit
want to make
unions,
sure.
private funding banks, credit unions, mostly venture capitalists. All right. Snoop Dogg sit on the board right now for a company called Casa Verde.
Casa Verde.
They invest in weed technologies, not plant.
And over at the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science, I got to keep talking about them because that's our school. That's where we are instructors. And Mr. Henderson does a wonderful job with talking about business and finance. We're actually updated our information. We have new information on our investors, on the news, on the laws, on the history. Well, we got some new information anyway. We've updated our books, so if you have not enrolled or if you are enrolled, we have some continuing information for you. And for our new students, we have new information for you that will come along with your books in a separate little booklet. And this is going to be really some powerful information about what's going on. Y'all did not know there was some more information to cannabis. We have that information. All right. And so I'm looking at this article called Medical Marijuana for Georgians with Serious Health Issues Nears Reality. So again, they're getting ready to open a dispensary. So if you're not in the industry, if you're not trained in the industry, we want you all to come out to the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science. Your certificates will be necessary, or it will be great to have on your resume that you did complete our training for cannabis pharmacologist, that's the name for dispensary technician, to be able to work and get the knowledge to be able to help someone who comes into the cannabis dispensaries with the medical card, and just help everyone and have that heart, that caring heart, to be able to support those who've never used cannabis before versus those who already know about cannabis and just coming in to get it. So we don't want to steer away or scare away those who are new to cannabis, and so we teach you how to handle your patients. These are now patients, and this is a medical facility instead of just a smoke or a vape shop. So there's a difference between a smoke vape shop, a CBD shop, and a medical cannabis dispensary. And we talk about that. You get certified at the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science. I'm so elated to be able to be the teacher, and I want to see you soon. So please come out. And again, back to this article. It is going to be about 30 cannabis dispensaries in Georgia. You can also use your certification in other states. So if you want to go to Vegas, if you want to go to Washington, Virginia just went legal. Let's see,
Virginia
New York
just went all the way recreational. They was the first state in the South.
In the South.
Go get that.
They are about to get the money.
And they on the beach too. Go
get that. And Georgia is really about to take a financial hit because a lot of the companies are pulling out of Georgia because of Kemp. We know that Kemp, hey, he might not be a second term governor, but we're praying for Georgia. Hashtag Save Georgia. So if you go online and you want to view us on Instagram, we are the Holistic Cannabis Show on Instagram. Hashtag anything, any of our photos. Hashtag Save Georgia. All right. So again, back to this article that I'm trying to talk about now. Medical marijuana is nearing reality for thousands of Georgians suffering from serious health conditions as state officials sift through the applications for growing licenses, and lawmakers recently paved the way for pharmacies to become dispensaries. So now your CVS, your Walgreens, your Walmart pharmacy, your Kroger pharmacy is now going to offer medical marijuana. So and this is not smokable. Again, this is only oil, and it's only 3 or 5% THC oil. All right, so it's not a lot. It's not going to get you overly high. Knowing that the risk of handling equipment and things like that still going to show up in your drug tests and things like that. Knowing the benefits of CBD oil with your THC oil, how that antagonizes each other, is going to cancel out the high effects, so you're not going to be going around high. People are not going to be in zombie stages if they don't want to. And our dispensary technicians will be able to train those who have never used cannabis so that they'll know not to drive, and if they have to do anything and not want to be overly high, they can take a CBD drop, and it will cancel out the effect of the THC in the low dose THC oil. Okay, again, that goes back to education. A lot of people are not aware of that, and we want to be the ones who make that known publicly, that you do not have to walk around high in order to indulge in medical cannabis, because it is a health benefit. Again, there was some people who were on the fence about it, saying that it was a gateway drug. We have some nonprofit organizations who are against this becoming a reality because it's not FDA approved. But so a lot of things that are FDA approved have been recalled. A lot of things that are not FDA approved, such as your COVID vaccine, that
Johnson vaccine.
Right. So you all heard about what's going on with that, and how they have already talked about the blood clotting with that. And so here we go again, people. It's always something to detour away from cannabis. So open your eyes, pay attention, know what's really happening here. This is not by coincidence that the industry, such as the alcohol industry in certain states, alcohol usage was going through problems because of the legalization of cannabis. So you have to think about who's paying and who's trying to be against cannabis legalized. All right. We have nonprofit organizations who don't want cannabis in the state. Okay, this is Georgia. This is a state where it's a Bible Belt. Okay, so we have Christians who are looking at cannabis as if it's an intoxicating substance. Okay, so is your high blood pressure medicine, so is your hydrocodone, so is your, I can go down a list of medications that are intoxicating. And again, CBD is what counteracts your effects. And if you are high and you cannot function, don't call the police, don't get scared, just take you a drop of a 1 milliliter drop of a CBD oil and you will be fine in within 5 minutes. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there. Again, patients in Georgia will only have access under state law to the oil extracts containing small amounts of marijuana's active ingredient called tetrahydrocannabinoid, or THC. All right, and once selected, the winning 6 applicants will have 12 months to open a maximum of 5 dispensaries each and start providing medicinal low THC oil to nearly 19,000 patients that are registered and signed up on the state's registry according to the state law and data from Georgia Department of Public Health. Cultivators could start providing THC oil to patients much sooner than the year-long limit based on application projections, says Andrew Turnage. And Mr. Turnage is the executive director of the Georgia Access to Medical Cannabis Commission. We need to write him. He needs to know what's going on and get educated. He has been overseeing and a commissioner of hair, okay, and I think the Barber College Cosmetology, that's what it is, Cosmetology Board. And so he's over this regulation, which he probably should not have been. He was not a healthcare provider. All right, but at the same time, it is what it is. He was chosen, and we have to move forward with what we have. Georgia, again, we're praying. If you want to come out 420, we're praying for these folks. We're cautiously optimistic that this could be a very good Christmas for THC oil patients in Georgia, said Turnage, a former Hall County deputy sheriff who has served top roles on the State Board of Nursing and the Board of Cosmetology and Barbers. So he was on the State Board of Nursing. Again, he was in the health industry, but he was not accessible to cannabis or THC and probably did not know a lot about the cannabis industry. We don't know. We praying again for him. Medical cannabis, the scientific term for marijuana, has been in the works in Georgia since 2015 when state lawmakers legalized oils containing no more than 5% THC, but they still did not have access to it. So if you went to another state and you came back in, what happens to you? You're drug trafficking, right? And nobody has talked about going to jail. They had kids that had epileptic seizures that they were allowing them to have THC oil going across state lines. So what is the conundrum here? Y'all are allowing certain things but won't legalize it. Y'all want certain people to go to jail but certain people don't. Certain people who have seizures, they can get access and come across state lines. Certain people that have it and need it and getting it in the black market, they're not being able to. Okay, and then we had one lady, and I'm going to read her story. It was really disturbing because federally, again, this should have been legalized on a federal basis. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to break down this article here. The law was tweaked in 2019 to create licensing rules that allow some universities to research THC's treatment and benefits. Okay, Georgia is among 11 states to legalize the low THC oil for medical purposes. And according to the national conferences of state legislators, most other states except Idaho, Kansas, and Nebraska have already set up programs for broader medical cannabis or legalized recreational use. Okay, so just think about all the states. We're the United States of America. Over half of the states, if we all voted today, cannabis will be legalized on a federal level. If it was up to every state to vote, it will be legalized on a federal level. All right, and it says that while Georgia's medical cannabis program is more restrictive than many other states because there's 16 qualifying conditions in Georgia, there's 22 qualifying conditions in just 2 other states over in Mississippi, and you're practicing medicine without a license. All right. While Georgia's medical cannabis program is more restrictive than many other states, lawmakers recently moved to expand who can qualify for dispensing licenses and where they could be located. Okay, so they were saying they can't be located near a daycare center. They can't be located near a school. They can't be located by activity center and so forth. But CVS is located probably near schools. I was saying that. So how are you going to say or put regulations on certain things? I think it should be regulated like tobacco, like alcohol. I mean, and just let it be, okay? Legislation passed in the General Assembly earlier this month that aims to allow local pharmacies to dispense low THC oil pending approval from the State Board of Pharmacy. There would be no cap on the number of licenses available for pharmacies to secure an allowance that has made some critics wary. All right, the bill, which Governor Kemp has not yet signed, would also give local governments more leeway on where dispensaries can open, similar zoning rules for alcohol vendors. Okay, so similar to alcohol. That was good. And if Kemp go ahead and pass this, I think he would probably be known in history as a good governor, maybe. Maybe. You never know what is up his sleeve. He has the right to veto some of this stuff, and he has the right to approve some of this stuff, and he has the right to executive orders to legalize cannabis on his own in the state of Georgia. So we are wondering what he's going to do. Again, we're praying on Tuesday. If you want to join us, come on out. All right, so it's saying potentially waiving a requirement for medical cannabis providers to keep 3,000 feet away from schools, churches, and activity centers. That leeway aims to give local officials more control over where to locate dispensaries rather than abiding by state mandates, said State Representative Micah Gravely, a Republican in Douglasville, who superheaded the bill in this year's legislative session. He stressed that enough security measures like fencing, cameras, and state-run tracking systems will be in place to keep cannabis plants and oils from going to people who do not suffer from diagnosed medical needs. All right, I agree with that, but let me tell you again about medical needs. We have been in a pandemic for about a year or over a year. Everybody got a little PTSD, and PTSD is a qualifying condition, Mr. Governor and Mr. Michael Gravely. Yeah, Michael Gravely. We all have some situations to where we can use a little THC and a little CBD. I don't understand what medical conditions that you are not including in this bill, but we all have one. All right, let me finish this. All right, so he stressed that enough security measures, I talked about that, and these are not families that want to get high, Gravely said. These are families that need oil. We all need some oil, okay? Advocates hail medical cannabis as an effective treatment method for a host of serious illnesses, including cancer. Okay, I give a whole speech, a whole class on cannabis and THC and how cancer and THC have been shown to apoptosis. That means to kill cancer cells. So FYI, if you do not know and have not ever done research on cannabis and cancer, please contact me at 404-631-6360. You can sign up for my class, or if you need me to speak at one of your events according to cancer and THC, I can give you a whole class on that. All right, so researchers at the University of Georgia in 2019 found states with medical cannabis programs have seen nearly 15% reduction in opioid use amongst the residents. All right, so just diminishing some of these problems would have helped a lot of opioid addictions, overdoses, VA giving all these prescriptions for gabapentin and all this other stuff, hydrocodone, that's making people sick and getting people addicted, and they're worried about addiction to cannabis. I'm going to tell you how I know, and we've researched it, and cannabis is less addictive than all of the opioids that you can ever think about. All right, and so many patients in Georgia have already benefited from the medical cannabis treatment. According to advocates, Nora Bushfield, a Decatur attorney, described how cannabis helped nearly eliminate the severe seizures her 41-year-old daughter used to experience daily. It is helping people All right. It was just a miracle, said Bushfield, who is a part of a group currently seeking a state medical cannabis license. We kept waiting and waiting to have her to have a seizure, and she didn't. It stopped the seizures, and I can attest to that myself. My daughter has seizures. I also suffer from a qualifying condition, but it won't get passed because of that condition, because it's not in state. In state, you don't know what my state of being is and what I'm on and how I am using what I know and research, not a doctor's MD's information, to heal myself. And according to this cannabis regulation, people are uneducated about cannabis in this industry. So if you know somebody that needs to see this video, please share, all right? Because we're talking about it and we're getting to the underlying causes of why people in Georgia, lawmakers, will not legalize cannabis on a federal level. Oh, well, they can't. The president can. And Kamala Harris, oh, let's not get on top of her, because she promised the MORE Act to be approved, and we're still waiting, Kamala. All right, I just want to throw that out there. I do love you dearly, and I hate that somebody tried to kill you. All right, so they're also arguing that cannabis, which remains federally classified as a banned narcotic, which it shouldn't be, can serve as a gateway drug to abuse more dangerous substances like cocaine and opioids. No, if you want to use another drug, that is a choice. That is not a cannabis users who need cannabis decision to make you go out and put a gun in your head and tell you better use opioids. But you know what? It is an exit drug, because a person who's used opioids before does not have to use opioids now that cannabis is medically legal, because they can just go to a dispensary, buy cannabis, and not have to worry about alcohol, because alcohol sales did go down, nor opioids, because opioids went down in states where have legalized cannabis. Thank you. Yes. Isn't that something? But Georgians are thinking that it is a bad gateway drug. All right, so Ginger Wagner is a member of a nonprofit, Let's Get Clear Georgia, has passed for tighter rules on medical cannabis after the death of her 19-year-old son, whose marijuana use led to experimenting with harder drugs. How do we know that that was cannabis? Didn't nobody put cannabis up to your son's mouth and say, you better smoke this, or neither did they use and say that you don't need cannabis no more, you need a harsher drug. So if you think about the stuff that people are saying, it's almost like Reefer Madness. If you've never seen that movie, you should watch that movie. Reefer Madness is really good. It talks about all the people who had this talking and rumors and stuff and lies about cannabis so that it could become illegal when it was once federally legal. Then they said all this stuff, and then they changed their mind and said it's almost like the prohibition of alcohol. You know how back when, before my time, because I wasn't born yet, but they used to say that alcohol was illegal, and then they turned around and legalized it. It was like, what? Why did y'all even make it illegal in the first place if y'all gonna turn around and make it legal?
Government, tax, and war.
There you go. All right, so Georgians is a state that makes money off of people going to jail. So if you think about it, they're still taking people to jail for possession of cannabis and having so much cannabis. They don't take people to jail for a pack of cigarettes. I mean, I know more people that has died with lung cancer from smoking cigarettes than I have from anybody overdosing on cannabis. I'm just saying. All right, so it's very difficult for physicians to document chronic pain, and so they can't tell if a person has gotten into a car accident, they need pain pills, not give them a pill, but give them a choice to alternative medicine is all I'm saying. But that's just my thoughts. Do you have anything to say about anything that I've said, Mr. Henderson? All right. Well, anyhow, the state's commissioners, Turnage, sought to assure that the program will have guardrails in place to ensure only qualified patients will receive medical cannabis, particularly after lawmakers this year approved about $622,000 to hire an attorney, police-trained inspector, and 2 licensed administrators. $622,000. Do you know what we could have done with $622,000 in the state?
Not a lot.
I can think of some stuff. I mean, medical marijuana is $1 billion industry. cannabis, period. All right, so having those people in place is going to be helpful. If you think that cannabis is the harshest drug or it's the devil's drug, then yeah, but you should also put in cigarettes, you should put in burgers, sugar. You should put in all this other kind of stuff that's giving people high blood pressure. I see patients every day. I'm a doctor, and I know all of the little stuff that goes on. And in the food industry, FDA approved food that you sell in the grocery store that's causing people to have cancer. Okay, let's talk about that, and not on this episode. But Mr. Henderson, on you. What do you have to say?
Nothing.
I just broke it down.
It's Tuesday.
I just broke it down. All right. So
420 is Tuesday.
420 is Tuesday.
If you care, share.
If you care, share. All right. So we're going to go through our videos. I'm sorry, not our videos, but watch this quick commercial. And then go through our photos about all the things that we're doing this week. So after this, we'll come back. All right. There you go. All right, so we have some photos of everything that we're doing this week. We have a wonderful class that we've had Wednesday, our sewing class, every Wednesday. All right, so if you want to learn how to sew and you don't know how to sew, it's $20 for adults and $10 for anybody under the age of 18 to learn how to sew. And we're at 820 Highway 138, not 238, 138 Riverdale, Georgia, 30296, next to the Little Giants and the Yummies Cafe. Thank you so much. Natural to Life. Y'all heard last week we were having a model casting call for those who want to be in events, especially like the one called Natural to Life that we do annually, the Fashion, Natural Hair, and the Talent Show, calling all ages 5 to 100 debutantes and beaux. That is a classic event, but we're also just having model calls just for different events throughout the year. So we'll use models for every event that we have. So that's why we are in need of these models. We had a model call yesterday, and then we're having one next Saturday. So if you're interested and you are in the ATL area, it does not matter. You do not have to be strictly in ATL. Riverdale is open to all of Georgia, and we're asking that you come out next Saturday. We're all black because they models, the celebrity models are going to be there and going to be watching you walk. All right, so come out ready to go. The holistic cannabis, everything that we do is holistic, so it talks about getting your life in a full balanced circle. So we work on finances, career, education, health, physical activity, home cooking, home environment, relationships, social life, joy, spirituality, creativity. Everything is balance of each other. So if your finances are not right, it could cause your health problems. If you don't get enough physical activity, it could suffer, your health suffers. If you're not getting enough home cooked meals or good healthy meals, your health is going to suffer, so forth. So we try to get everybody's life in a full circle balance. Come out and see me at the Gift of Life Community Health and Wellness Clinic, and you can call me for an appointment. All right, so there was a double shooting in DeKalb, and there was one person critically ill and another one who actually passed away. So rest in peace to those people. 420, again, a day of happiness has arrived. We're celebrating and we're giving 420 specials for students who enroll before 420. So come out, grab a friend, bring someone with you. You can also take this class by Zoom and celebrate 420 classes. Again, we pushed them back, so they will start the following Saturday. They have not started yet, so you still have time to get that 420 special. All right, that's $420. Cannabis is the safest medicine known to the human race. Cannabis prohibition is a crime against humanity. It should not have happened.
Bye-bye belly. Gunbuster juice. Drink the juice. Sheds belly fat. Nourishes heart and improves sexual function, stamina, and endurance. You can get your bye-bye baby, bye-bye belly snatch juice, all right, from our spot in Riverdale.
There you go. They have different flavors. So we're going to make slushies. So now you get a weight loss slush icy. And you can enjoy it on those hot days. So we're selling it by the cup. All right. Again, the 420 Pray and Paint is going to be this Tuesday, praying for the education and legalization of cannabis in Georgia. Hashtag Save Georgia. Tickets are $20. This is a donation for education for those who don't have the money to pay for the classes for the school. We're paying for those people to come on and get involved in cannabis, and if they want to open up businesses. So we're doing something a little different with our 420 time. Come out and support. All right, so congratulations again to Miss Tahita Hall. I hope you're watching. You have your certificates, your dispensary tech certification. You got a pen from Mr. Sines. Dean, hey, what's up? And we're so lucky to have had you as a student. So this is to one of our students. We have many more that we have to do this for, and we invite you all out to the show so you are able to support and promote your businesses on air. Again, the 420 special prices. Call to enroll 404-631-6360. That's our promo. All right. Again, 30 medical marijuana oil dispensaries could open in Georgia. That was the latest news from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Please go out, download that article or read that article and find out how you can become involved in one of the 30 medical marijuana oil dispensaries or any of those pharmacies if Governor Kemp passed for the pharmacies to take part. Rest in peace again, Dante Wright. There's been 7 days, I think 5 to 7 days of protests and 6 so far. And we just want to send our condolences from Georgia all the way to Minnesota. Hey, you're doing what you're doing. We're not telling y'all not to protest. This has got to stop. And until they federally do something to these police officers, like Mr. Henderson said, it's going to keep happening. And so we don't want that to keep happening. And we're just, praying for change and justice. If we protested for cannabis, like we protested for some of these federal, for some of the people who have passed, we would be probably ahead of the game somewhere. But we got to get it together one way or another. Collectively, we can make change. All right. And again, we're praying Tuesday.
Maybe everybody who smoked cannabis on 420 should go and meet at the Capitol.
Ooh, there you go. Hold on, I gotta ring the bell on that. Bring that bell over there.
I'm just saying, if people could run up in the Capitol building, man, for elections, imagine what'd happen if all of us meet outside and sit on the Capitol on the Capitol property and just fire it up.
I'm not getting that. All right. Well, we're thankful for you all for joining us today. We didn't get any phone calls, but maybe next week. But we will be here same time, same place. Till then, peace.